we will start a new chapter that we call it as the loop control structure. As the name itself signifies that if something is to be repeated, we call it as a loop. Hmm? We have already seen that there are four types of control structure. Sequential and decision we have already covered. This is the third control structure, what we call it as a loop control structure. Now, why we need a loop? In programming, certain part of the code we want to be executed repeatedly. In that case, we need a loop control structure, as simple as it is. Now, from where we can understand it easily? In our day-to-day life, many activities we put them inside the loop. Like when you sit for having a lunch, that is also a kind of a loop, right? Because eating that bite by bite, you put that process inside the loop. So similarly, lot of activities around us are put inside the loop. We wake up in the morning today, then we sleep in the night, again we wake up next morning. So that is a kind of a loop again. So Dennis Ritchie thought, why not provide such a control structure where certain part of the code can be executed repeatedly? That we call it as the loop control structure. So what is the primary terminology or major uh, what you can say concepts in this chapter? What we will see will be while, then for, then increment and decrement operator, do while, then nesting of loops, break statement, continue statement, and a special loop. So this will be part of whole this chapter in brief. So one by one we will see all these concepts. So while loop. While basically is a keyword in C. We have seen some of the keywords like int, char, or a float, or a double, right? Return. All these were keywords. Huh? I have already told you that there are somewhere around 48 keywords in C. When I learned C language way back, almost 22 years back, at that time keywords were only 22, 32. I mean, 32 keywords were there. But as new versions and new amendments and changes were made in C language during last 22 years, as of now there are 48 keywords in C language, standard C language, right? Usually standard C is considered as a C99 or C11. There are various versions. Initially there was a ANSI C. Before that there was a C called K&RC. K&RC. That is a Kernighan and Ritchie. Both of these actually work on development of C language or invention of C language. So initial C, before it was standardized, it was called as a K&RC, Kernighan and Ritchie C. Ritchie from the Dennis Ritchie. And Kernighan was Brian Kernighan. He was also a inventor. He was assisting Dennis Ritchie. So while is a keyword, right? Now what is the syntax? For any loop, three parts are usually there, right? So initialization is there. Loop has to be initialized first, then while condition. But there is a difference. If you correlate along with if condition, there is a difference. Huh? while followed by condition, like if followed by condition. There is a pair of braces to this. So whatever you want to uh, repeatedly execute, you put that uh, inside the pair of curly braces, and at the end there is the increment or decrement operator, or increment or decrement of variable, because what we can say is a counter, because somewhere loop has to be terminated, otherwise it is going to be an infinite loop. So this is basically a syntax of C language, while loop. Don't forget that while condition should not be terminated by semicolon. Like if condition is not terminated by a semicolon, right? Suppose I want to print hello world 5 times, right? So what I will do, I will write it, right? So if you execute this program, it will print hello world 5 times, right? Hmm? But this is not the way to do program, because something is getting repeated. You can easily see that, right? So what I will do, I will declare some variable and give name as counter, suppose, right? You can declare a variable in anything. You can give here comment as loop counter. What does the syntax say? Initialize that first. So I'll initialize is to suppose 1. And then syntax of while. While condition is to be written, so I'll write while counter is less than or equal to 5. What is to be done? I want to print hello world 5 times. So I will put that inside this, right? Hello world. So this is the initialization part. Right? This is the condition part. And counter has to be incremented, right? Counter has to be incremented. Well, right? Counter is equal to counter plus 1. This is a increment. If I now run this program, it will print hello world 5 times. So what happens when control comes here? There is a variable counter, it is initialized to 1. When control comes here, it tests whether condition is true or false. So as of now, counter contains 1. 1 is less than or equal to 5. So control goes inside the loop. It is whatever is done, it is done. So there, as of now, there is only single statement, but there can be number of statements. At the end of the loop, we have written statement as counter is equal to counter plus 1. This kind of statement is valid in C, not valid in mathematics. Why? Because the current value of counter, that is 1, 1 will be added to that. So the value of this expression is 2. And this 2 will be assigned to again the variable on the left hand side, which is a counter variable. So counter will now contain 2. Since this is a loop, like if else, there was if here in the last chapter. So this if block is executed only when condition is true, right? And control comes here directly. Next statement after the if block. Here, control doesn't come here. right? It goes back to the condition part. So it comes here, comes here, comes here. This is executed and control comes back to the condition part again. So again, now the counter variable contains 2. 2 is less than or equal to 5. So again, control goes inside. The value of counter becomes 3 now. 3 is less than or equal to 5. Similarly, when counter value of counter becomes 5, again condition is tested. 5 is still less than or equal to 5. Okay, so control goes is here. Here the value of counter becomes 6. 6 is not less than or equal to 5. So loop terminates here and the control directly come from this point to this point, right? This point, sorry, line number 15. Okay, so if I write here something like I'll put here one statement as entering loop. If we can see that entering the loop here. So control is about to enter inside the loop. Loop is executed 5 times. So hello world will be printed 5 times. When counter variable becomes 6, the loop is terminated, condition becomes false, and control goes to the next statement after the body of the loop. So this is the body of the loop, right? Right here, body of the loop. This is how it is executed, right? Now, suppose I assign 5 to this and I want to print hello world 5 times. What changes you will make? You will write here. You can write here 10, right? Again, it will work 6 times. It will print 6 times, right? 5 times. 5 times. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? Now, it may happen that you write counter is greater than or equal to 1. Right? So, how you return the condition? Counter is greater than or equal to 1. Do this. This will be executed because 5 is greater than or equal to 1. And what you have to do here? You have to decrement that. You write counter is equal to counter minus 1. So loop can be written in any fashion, the way you want, right? How many times it is executed? 4 times, right? Right? Now, when you write this statement, now this is the decrement part. This statement can be written in multiple ways, right? I will write another program so that I can share all source codes along with you. Because if I go on making the changes in the same program, probably you won't be able to recall that afterwards, right? Suppose I want to print numbers from 1 to 10. int I num. All right, num is equal to 1. So that is initialization, right? I will write while num is less than or equal to 10, right? Intf or int num, right? Num is equal to num plus 1. So this is a loop again, while loop, initialization, 1 is less than or equal to 10, it will print value of num, that is 1, value of num becomes 2 here, again control goes here, condition is tested. So likewise, when the value of num becomes 11, the loop is terminated. Why? Because condition becomes false. So control will go inside the loop till condition remains true. That's it, right? So what will happen? Suppose by mistake you don't write this, you forgot. Okay. What will happen? What will happen? The loop will be executed forever, right? If you want to see, check this. It is 1 1 1 1 1. Okay, it will go and go and go and go. Okay? Because it will never become, the condition will remain always true, right? I cannot break this. I have to terminate this, abort this. I have to abort this program, right? Now I'll write here. I wrote here num is equal to num plus 1. Now this increment can be written in various ways in C language. This is the first method. Num is equal to num plus 1. Simple method, right? There is one more operator called num plus equal to 1. This is called as a compound operator. Right? It is called a compound operator. What does it mean? Num plus, this has to be very close to each other, right? Plus equal to. This is not allowed. It has to be written like this. And num plus equal to 1 is expanded internal to this statement. So num plus equal to 1 is same as num equal to num plus 1. Right? So this works. If I write this, compile this, it will print numbers from 1 to 10. Right? This is called a compound. Compound operator is applicable for all many arithmetic operators, or even some operators like bitwise operator or like that. Okay, basically for arithmetic operators, this operator is used many times. Huh? So it can be, suppose I write I is minus equal to 1. What does it mean? I is equal to I minus 1, right? If I write x multiplication equal to 5, what does it mean? X is equal to x into 5. If I write y is equal to y divide equal to 2, What does it mean? Y is equal to y divided by 2, right? So all these are compound operators. All these are compound operators, right? Suppose I create one more project. So what will happen? It will print only 5 numbers. So 4 numbers, 1, 2, 4, 8, right? Because when, no, it is not num is equal to, yeah. So what happens here? Initially value of num is 1. 1 is less than or equal to, so 1 is printed. Then num is equal to num into 2, right? So value of num will become 2, right? So observe here. Value of become 2. Okay, so 2 will be printed. Then num is equal to num into 2. So 2 into 2, 4 will be printed. And this 4, once 4 is printed, num is 4, 4 into 2, that is 8. So 8 will be printed. But after that 8 into 2, this 8 into 2 will become 16, which is not less than 10. Right? So loop is terminated. What I mean here is it's programmer has got full control. What he wants to do, he can put inside the loop, whether it is increment or decrement or whatever, multiplication, whatever. Okay. Even though you use the multiplication operator, it does mean that you are incrementing the value. Okay, by some steps, not single step, there are few steps, right? There is one more operator. I'll open another project. There is one more operator called increment operator. If I write here num plus plus, right? This is called unary increment operator, right? So num plus plus or plus plus num or num minus minus or minus minus num, right? What does it mean? This means num is equal to num plus 1, right? Plus plus num or num plus plus, both are same. One is called a prefix. So this is a postfix increment operator. And this is called a prefix increment operator. Right? It's called a right? So this is num plus plus is same as num is equal to num plus 1, but this is called a postfix increment operator, and this is called a prefix increment operator. Dash slash is a single line comment, right? And this is num is equal to num minus 1. So postfix decrement operator, right? And this is a prefix decrement operator. Its effect is same, but its effect is same when it is individual, when it is not part of expression. But I will come to that afterwards, right? So there are, you can say, three ways are there. Count is equal to count plus 1, that is one way, first method. Second method, that is a compound operator. And this is the third method, increment or decrement operator, unary. These are unary. Why? Because only single operand is there, right? All these are binary. This is binary, this is binary, this is also binary, but this is unary because it needs only one operand on its left side or right side. Now, as far as processing is concerned or popularity is concerned, this operator is very popular, num plus plus, among programmers. Oh, the only limitation along with this operator is that this is useful only when you want to increment number or a counter or whatever only by 1. Then it is possible. Because this operator is not useful if you want to increment by any other number except 1. Here this facility is available. Okay, if you write count is equal to count plus 5, the increment will be by 5, right? If you write here I x into equal to 5, it will be multiplied by 5. But this is not possible as far as this is. But usually in programming, many a times, increment is by 1. And that is the reason this method, this option, this style is very popular among programmers, right? Okay, I will write one more program. Suppose suppose I want to find cube of a number, and uh, square of a number, right? So, int square int cube. right? And int I. And right here, loop count. So I will write I is equal to 1 while I less than or equal to 5. Printf enter number scanf percent d I will write square is equal to num into num, right? Cube is equal to num into num into num, right? And square of percent d is percent d. I will write num comma square. I will write cube of percent d is percent d num comma cube. And at the end, I'll write I plus plus. What will happen? This much code, this much body of the loop will be executed 5 times. So it will ask user, it will prompt the user to enter a number 5 times successively. And each time you will get square of a number and cube of a number what you have entered. Suppose I enter 5, it will get square of 5 is 25, cube of 5 is 125. Suppose I enter 12, 12 144, 12 is 178. I will enter 56 and 42 and 12. Got that? This is how loop control structure can be designed. Right? Is it clear? You can ask me questions. Last 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes I will give for asking you questions. Right? You can note them down. But don't forget that don't put semicolon here or here. Okay? Semicolon is not allowed. No. So that I talk about the while loop. Right? Next, for loop. Basically, all loop constructs are for the same, for repetition of certain part of the code, right? Whatever you want to repeat, put it inside the loop. So why there are variety kind of loops? Variety kind of loops are there because he wants. I mean, the Denis Ritchie wanted the language to be versatile, right? So he has provided one more loop, which is called as a for loop. For again is a keyword. Then syntax is in case of for loop, initialization, condition, and increment or decrement is written in one single statement. In case of while loop, initialization before the condition part, and at the end of the loop, you will write the increment or decrement. Here, everything in one single statement. That's why this loop is very popular among programmers. Very easy to write, right? The rest of the things are same. So if I create another project, right? So here, same code. This code is same, right? Take 5 numbers of the user, print their square, and Q. But instead of while loop, I will write the for loop. What does the syntax says? Syntax says that for, and inside a pair of brackets, there would be initialization. So I will initialize it. I is equal to 1. Then semicolon. Don't forget, it is not a comma. It is a semicolon. Then first is initialization. Then there is a condition. So I less than or equal to 5. I mean, how many times you want that to be executed, and then increment is equal to I plus 1. So everything is inside 1, everything. This is not required. So this will be executed as in the earlier case. But then 5 times it is executed. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this is a syntax of for loop. How it is to be written? For keyword, then initialization, semicolon, condition, semicolon, increment or decrement, right? So how this loop will be executed? When control comes here, 1 is assigned to I, that is the initialization, right? 1 is assigned to I, so I will contain now 1. Then condition is tested, whether I is less than or equal to 5. Condition is true. So control goes inside. This is executed, this is executed. The whole body of the loop is executed. When it comes at the closing brace, it won't go outside, but it will go to the increment part now. Control automatically will be taken to the increment part or decrement, whatever, right? So now I equal to I plus 1, so value of I becomes 2. Again it goes to the condition part here. See the flow. Initially it goes here, then here, then here, then this is executed, then it goes to the increment part, right? Then here, testing, then here again, then again here, right? Then condition is tested. Now when value of I becomes 6, value of I becomes 6, right? This condition will be false and control will go outside the for loop. I will explain again. Control goes here, then here, condition is true, then this is executed, control goes here, value of I becomes 2, 2 is less than or equal to 5, condition is true, this is executed, again it is incremented, I becomes 3, 3 is less than or equal to 5, this is executed, again I becomes 4, 4 is less than or equal to 5, this is executed, I becomes 6, 6 is not less than or equal to 5, this is not executed, control goes outside the, okay. So this part is called initialization only because once only when control goes at the for statement, at that time only once this is executed, and this is tested each time, this is executed each time, right? So what I mean, important part of the for loop is that when control goes outside the closing brace of for loop, control goes here, not here, not here, but here. Not that. Now, again, various versions are there. I will come to that in the future. Various versions are there, and we are going to. You need to go through that animated course today only for learning while loop as well as for loop, because yesterday I have finished that decision control structure. So you have to access those contents, all videos, right? Otherwise, Whatever you have learned, it will be vanished from your memory, right? So when it is fresh, at that time only access those videos, so that concepts are more clear, right, from those animated videos. Now, this, as I as we have seen in the last example of while loop, this can be written in image. So it could be I is equal to I plus 1, or it could be I plus equal to 1, or it could be I plus plus. So same philosophy here, because that is the increment part. It can be written in three different ways. Assignment operator, that is I equal to I plus 1, or compound operator, that is I plus equal to 1, or increment operator, that is I plus plus. So